So this week I want to share with you a really cool video from one of my Product Launch Formula students.
We knew that what we were teaching was so important and so valuable. And once we got in the room, even people who didn't sign up for it, they were sold after they saw what we delivered for them, where we took them. So we knew what we did was really important for so many parents, for so many kids. But it was so hard to sell. I'm Luis Carlos from Mexico, and I teach parents how to be really great parents. So here I am fighting it out every day, feeling this deep need, this urge to accomplish this mission. And deep inside I felt incongruent because I had to spend so many hours out there working to get the sale, to get the message out. And sometimes I felt like I was failing in my business and to my family. I was pretty much deciding that this wasn't for me. So then one day Gabby walks up to me and she says, "Hey, you really need to see this." And she tells me it's this new thing, this new internet marketing thing that we hadn't seen before. And I just didn't want to look at it. I was pretty much lost. But I said, okay, you know what? Whatever makes you feel good. And that's when I met Jeff. And I started watching his videos. And immediately I knew something was different there. And something inside me told me, if I do this, if I go ahead and do this, this might just work. So when I decide to go for it, to make this first launch, I had only a very basic know-how that I was getting from Jeff, and I was pressed for time because I had already announced a workshop that was going to happen in 3 weeks. And then the miracle happened. All of a sudden, everything that I had tried for the past year online had not added up to the results I had in my first time ever launch, which, you know, looking back to it, it was full of mistakes. It was not a great launch. It was put up in a rush, in a hurry, but it worked. It worked. It was beautiful. So after that first launch, we knew we had to try it again. So we teamed up. We really studied everything, and we knew we could do much better than that first launch. And a couple of months later, we 4x'd the results that we had on our first launch. So it's been 2 years after that second launch, and our growth has been incredible. We have an office, and we have a team that supports everything that we're doing, that are completely into our mission to reach all these Latin American families all over the world and really have an impact in their homes, in their quality of lives, and in the love that they receive from their parents. We're helping transform an entire generation of parents and children. And as for me, I now have a chance to really be there with my kids, to really be the parent that they deserve and that I've always wanted to be. That is priceless.
Well, how cool was that? So I followed up with Luis and I asked if I could share some of his numbers just to make it more real for you. And he said, okay. So I thought I'd share. Now remember, Luis lives in Mexico. His program's in Spanish. He's teaching parents how to be better parents. He's primarily selling to the Latin American market. Programs in Spanish. And he only had 3 weeks to put together that first launch. Well, he got 130 students to sign up, generated $14,000 in sales, and basically kept the school in business at that point. But then he said he got 4 times better results in that next launch. That one did $52,000. And since then, he's just kept on doing launch after launch. He's now done 7 launches. His last one was just a few months ago. It was in June. Did $282,000. And in this time, he's generated almost $750,000 in sales. He's had 4,500 parents go through his program. And it's amazing. You think about the impact they're going to have. How many kids are going to have better lives because of those 4,500 students? Absolutely amazing. His list, he said, was non-existent. His email list was non-existent when he started. He had a small Facebook following, was able to, through his pre-launch and sharing great material in his pre-launch, was able to generate an email list of 7,000 people with just that first launch. And then he now has 149,000 people on his email list. Absolutely amazing numbers. I just love sharing this type of story. And of course, Luis is not average. He's not typical. No one is average or typical. And I don't want to portray this as being average or typical. It's, you can, if you just want to just assume that no one ever gets any results from my program or any other program, that's probably the safest. But when you look at what he did, and he just had 3 weeks to put this together, absolutely remarkable. And that's why I wanted to share Luis and Gabby's story. It's just, I love what they're doing. I love the impact they're making. Why don't you scroll down, leave a comment for Gabby and Luis. They're going to be watching this. They're going to be watching. They can't wait for this video to come out. So scroll down, leave a comment for them, and let's go get them this week.